So I got this whole presentation about lease options. The truth is, what I do is so stupidly simple, I could explain to you in 15 minutes. But then we're going to be sitting here for like an hour and a half twiddling our thumbs going, well, that was easy. But what I do is so easy. Let me say this. For those of you that are new to real estate, you haven't done a deal, you're just kind of feeling out, hey, what's going on there? Let me say this. Brian touched on this, but the riches is in the niches. Write that down, man. The riches is in the niches. And so with real estate, you've got so many different ways to make money in real estate that you get the shiny object syndrome. Oh, I'm going to do that. 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 You've got to find what resonates with you. Where's your comfort level? Where's your risk tolerance? What excites you? Let me say this. I'm very honest with people. If you want something exciting in real estate, something that gets the adrenaline going and the dopamine, oh my God, this is exciting, this is the most amazing thing ever. I'm not the guy. Why? Because what I do is so stupidly simple. Let me see a show of hands. Who here on a computer can copy and paste? Anybody not be able to copy and paste? Okay. Everybody raise their hand. Guess what? You can do lease options. That's how stupidly simple this is. I tell people with my system, if you can copy and paste and do what I do, it's not exciting. I'm not the guy you go to get the dopamine going. Because what I do is it's simple. Because I'm not negotiating. I'm not beating the seller down. I'm not cold calling. I don't skip trace. I've done this for 21 years. I've never skip traced anybody except one ex-girlfriend. Different story. There's a whole different story there. Don't be judgy. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to talk about lease options because it's a small group, which I love. I love this. I'm going to go through some of the slides kind of quickly, but really get into the nitty-gritty of it, all right? So I've done this for 21 years. I started my company in 2003, leasing to buy, and I focused on one niche. And after 21 years, became the master of it, you know. I've taught a lot of people how to do this. A lot of the educators that y'all probably bought their courses, they probably learned from me. I don't say it to go, oh, look at me, I'm a genius. I'm just saying, I've done this for a long time. I've kind of dialed this in. So again, I'm going to go through these slides. I'm going to go through them kind of quickly and really dive into more of a personal level, conversation with you all, okay? So I'll talk about what is a lease option, the 3 different types, lease option assignments, my copy-paste system, okay? I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi here. I'm going to show you all my website to say, guys, this is what my students are doing. Let's look at real deals. How do they get the deals? What the conversations sound like? How do we set the numbers? Bap, 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 okay? So for those of you getting started in real estate, here's the thing. Let me ask you this. How many people are here are wholesalers? There's no wholesalers here? No way. Rehabbers? I know I saw some hands up for rehabbers. Dude, everybody in Alabama is a rehabber. But you're buying from wholesalers, aren't you? Yeah? Wow, normally everybody's like, I'm a wholesaler. So if you're starting off in real estate, oftentimes wholesaling is where people go to. Why? Because it looks sexy on Facebook. Wholesaling sucks. I don't wholesale. I don't like ugly houses. Is that your phone? Is that your phone? Whose phone is that? That was your phone. Can I what's this shit? Can I call him back? Brian's like, oh my God, this is taking a horror. I'll call him.
It wasn't. Yeah. I don't know.
Was he? Who was it?
Music or something.
I'll call him back. Hey, what's up? This is John. All right. In my opinion, lease options are the easiest way to start in real estate. Why? Because the way I do it, you're not negotiating. You're not beating the seller down. You're not cold calling. You're not skip tracing. You're simply providing a plan B. And I'll talk about that. So again, no negotiating, no repairs, no risk, no money or credit needed, no skip tracing, no competition. Guys, I do this. I'm from Fort Worth, by the way, Fort Worth, Texas. I do this in Fort Worth. Do you know how many people in Fort Worth I have to compete with for lease options? Guess. 0. I have 0. There's literally nobody competing with me. Whereas if you're a wholesaler, everybody's for competition. I got nobody. I'm just doing my thing, baby. No competition, no skip tracing, no cold calling, no negotiating. So why do you need to understand lease options right now? Guys, I've done this for 21 years. In 2007, 2008-ish, my business blew up. But right now, it's probably as busy or I would say it's busier than 2008. Now the market's not as bad as 2008, but guys, I can barely keep up with it. So with what I provide a service to the sellers. Sellers need you. They can't sell their property. It's been in the market for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. They can't sell it. We are plan B for the seller. All right? Now let me ask you, what's your name? Keith? Keith, you live here in Birmingham? All right. You've got a house here for sale in Birmingham. You've got to relocate to Tampa, Florida for a job, whatever. Your house is in the market for 30 days, 60 days. Your job is calling like, you got to move. Your house isn't selling, but you're packing up the bags. What are you going to do with that house?
Sell it. Leave it there.
It's not selling. What are you going to do with it?
Drop the price. Do something.
You dropped the price 3 times. What are you going to do?
Keep it.
You're going to let it sit empty?
You got no choice.
So it's going to sit empty forever.
No, not forever. Somebody eventually buy it.
They haven't in 4 months, dude. What are you going to do, Keith? Here comes U-Haul. Beep, beep, beep. What are you going to do, Keith?
What option do I have there?
I don't know. You tell me, man. The sky's falling. Come on, Keith. Beep, beep, beep. You got to load the shit up. Let's go. What are you going to do?
I'm paying for 2 mortgages.
And it's going to sit empty.
Yeah.
You going to rent it out?
Yeah, I'll rent it out at least.
You're going to what?
I'll rent it out at least.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I'll rent it out at least.
Really?
Well, I mean,
You're going to rent it out.
Want to,
Keith, let me ask you something, Keith.
Yeah.
You're going to move to Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
You're going to rent this house out. You ever been a landlord? You ever been a long-distance landlord? So you're telling me you're going to rent this thing out to God knows who, and every time that toy makes a little noise, they're going to call you, beep, hey, Keith, what's up? My toy's making a little noise. That's what you want? God knows what they're going to do to the house. Is that what you want? Let me ask you something, Keith. I like the bracelets, by the way. Let me ask you something. Wouldn't you rather have someone in the house making payments to you every month that's actually in the process of buying the house?
Makes more sense.
What if they give you full price? Would that be cool?
God, you have it.
I'm plan B. Do you see the difference? That's what I do. I provide the seller with a plan B that they didn't know about. And in this market, when you have interest rates going up, well, they were going up, interest rates going up, market saturation, sellers need a plan B. I'm plan B. This is what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to show you how, really, within the first 30 days, from tonight, within 30 days, you can get your first deal. This isn't complicated, guys. This is easy. All right, I'm going to skip through I'll do a shortened story of my story. So I was a day trader for years, a couple years. Wanted to get into real estate, and I kept seeing the term lease options. And I thought, oh my God, I know what an option is because I trade options in the stock market. I can do that. But at the time, this was 2002, 2003, like the internet was like brand new. The only thing I could find about lease options was how to rip people off. Oh yeah, you charge them this money, you give them the house, they're never going to buy it. And then you kick them out, you do it all over again. It's amazing. I'm like, okay, that sucks. But what if you put a business together that actually helped the seller, actually helped the buyer? Now we've got something. That's where Leasing to Buy was born. So how did I get my first deal? So for those of you that haven't got your first deal yet, here's how I got my first deal. Now, I started in 2003. I don't think Craigslist was around yet. The only way that was taught on how to find houses, y'all are going to laugh at me. You had to call, this is so funny, you had to call classified ads in the newspaper. Now, for the young folks, a newspaper, they used to deliver it every day. A guy in a van, I know it sounds horrible, like a Catholic church thing. No, a guy in a van would come by every morning, throw a newspaper out. That's how we marketed. But how did I find my first deal? Now, this is very important. I had no clue what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to start this company. I'm going to help people. I'm going to help sellers. I'm going to help buyers. The first two things I did was I got my LLC, got my company name, Leasing to Buy, and for $65 or $68, got a yard sign. I had no clue what I was doing, but damn it, I had a yard sign. Because you know what? When I got that house, Daddy's putting that sign in the yard. So one day, I'm driving around, literally not even a mile from my house. I didn't know there was a term for this, driving for dollars. I don't know there's a term for it. I was just driving around listening to Scorpions. Yeah. And boom, here's that for sale by owner house. So I call him up, hey, I saw your sign in the yard for sale. Would you consider doing a lease option? He goes, yeah. What's the scariest thing a seller can say to you? Yes. Because they're like, oh shit. I wasn't quite prepared for this. Are you sure? Are you really sure? Because I wasn't. Because you don't have to. Put my sign in the yard. God knows what contracts I sent him. Send the contracts, put my sign in the yard. Within 3 weeks, made $3,500. Now, $3,500 may not, light a fire in your butt. But in 2003, I was like, oh my God, I'm like a freaking, Coke dealer here. I got $3,500. It was so easy to close that first deal. I still, to this day, remember that night, I felt guilty. That's a shocker. I felt guilty. I'm like, oh my God, I've done something wrong. Because it was too easy. Does that make sense? I'm like, oh my God, if I've done something wrong, please forgive me, blah, blah, blah. Because it was so easy. I'm like, there's no way in 2003 you can make $3,500 in 3 weeks by putting a sign in a yard. And I did it. I felt guilty. So a couple of weeks go by, and guess what? I'm driving around listening to Scorpions or whatever I'm doing. By the way, the Scorpions was a great 80s band, in case you're wondering, Keith. This is the second house I did. This was literally maybe 8 blocks away. Had a sign in the yard from Homevestors. You ever heard of Homevestors? We buy ugly houses. Had a sign in the yard, Homevestors, for sale. So I'll call them up. Hey, I saw your house on, Greenwood. Wanted to see if you wanted to be open to a lease option. And the guy, Craig Calhoun, I still remember his name. He goes, yeah, we do that. Are you sure? So guess what? I had to go over to the first house, pull my sign out of the yard, go to the other house, put it in that yard. Close this deal. And who knows, I think I made like $4,000 or $5,000 on that. And they started sending me houses. Hey, John, this is Craig. We've got 3 houses coming up in Arlington or whatever it was. Oh, okay. Shit, I got to go buy more signs. So now I'm doing houses for home investors. Now their franchise, their franchisee, they're telling other home investors about me. Oh, you got to talk to this guy, John Jackson. He's moving these houses. I'm getting spreadsheets. I'm getting like Excel spreadsheets of houses. I'm like, holy shit. I got a business, right? I need more signs. But I say this because especially if you're starting off, you don't know what you don't know. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. Right? You've got to push that. And guess what? Every comfort zone you break is going to create another comfort zone. You got to keep pushing and keep pushing. Go buy that $65 sign. So again, a lot of people in real estate think starting off, wholesaling is the way to start. Oh, I'm going to wholesale ugly houses. If you want to do wholesaling, bam, there's your marketing. Putting up an ugly coroplast sign on a telephone pole. There's your business model. I don't do that. There's a wholesale house. Will you all agree that's a wholesale house? That's a nasty, ugly house, right? I don't do that. That's the kind of house I do. A beautiful house. I call it P money versus pool money. If you've ever been inside a wholesale house, what does it smell like? What? I'm sorry, what was that?
Dog pee.
Okay, well, I was going to say cat pee, but okay. Dog pee. I don't know what it is about people that live in nasty, filthy, trashy houses that can't pay their bills. They go, you know what, honey? We got a lot of shit around here. You know what we need? We need like 8 cats and no litter box. Because that's a wholesale house, isn't it? I don't do it. This is actually a house I wholesaled. Again, I rarely wholesale. That's a house I did a lease option. Now you all get to decide, what do you want to do? The P house or the pool house? I like pool houses. And again, I'm going to go through some of these slides kind of quick because I just want to be real with y'all and just, because it's a small group, I love it. So I'm going to show you how to do offer full price on pretty houses, no competition, no negotiating, no cold calling, no skip tracing. Now, who here's ever heard of sub 2? All right. Who here knows what a wrap mortgage is? All right. There's different ways in creative real estate to get rolling. Lease options, seller finance, subject to wraps. At the end of the day, lease options are the tip of the spear. Why do I say that? Because they're the easiest thing to explain to a seller. Who here has ever done a sub 2 transaction? Okay, you. What is your name? Joe? So you got a seller to agree to a sub 2, right? Was that super easy? Hey, can you deed my house? Hey, my name is Joe. Can you give me your house? I'll take over the mortgage. I pinky promise. It was a beating, wasn't it? You got to get them to agree to literally deed their house over to you, right? And you have to build that trust that you're going to make the payments. Did you assign that sub 2? Or did you take it? You flipped it? You flipped it. What does that mean? Okay, you rehabbed and sold it. Good. A lot of people are doing sub 2 right now, which I'm okay with sub 2, but sub 2 has so much stuff behind the scenes that you don't even know. A lot of people are signing sub 2s Who here's ever heard of assigning a sub to? Yep. You lock it up, oh, sub to, and you assign it to some random person on Facebook. You heard that shit? If you get a seller to agree to a sub to, you are on the hook until that mortgage is paid off. But John, I assigned it to this dude in Ohio. I don't give a crap. You have a fiduciary responsibility. They don't tell you that on Facebook, do they? But with lease options, easy conversation. Keith, hey man, I know you're moving to Tampa. You got this house in Birmingham. How much are you asking for this house? $225. Dude, I can get you more than that. You cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
I'll tell you what, how about if I send you 2 emails? First one will be about what do we do? How does it work? The second will just be some preliminary numbers, okay? Get you full price, no commission, cash flow each month. And my buyers cash you out in 10 to 12 months. Does that sound good?
That's great.
All right, I'll send you 2 emails. Bam, mic drop. That was a seller call. That is how easy this is. Did I negotiate? No. Did I beat you down? Did I ask you how old that roof was? No. That's what I do. So what is a lease option? A lease option is simply a lease with the option to purchase before the option expires. Who here has ever heard of, or maybe you have leased a car, a Cadillac, BMW, Mercedes, anything? Who here has ever heard of leasing a car? If you lease a car, guess what you got? A lease option. I'm sorry, what was her name? Ernie. By the way, I like what you do, man. The whole infinite wealth thing. Do you know Jordan? Solomon. Anyway, he does infinite wealth. Jordan, if you lease a BMW, you have a lease option on that BMW, don't you? You're leasing that BMW, but you have the right, not the obligation, to buy that car at a set price before your lease expires, right? Yep, that's what we do, except instead of a BMW, bam, we do it with houses. We just flip the lease option. This is very important, guys. I get very experienced investors talking to me, calling me up on a Zoom call, whatever. They go, so what is it you do, John? Yeah, about this lease option thing. Well, here's what we do. And they go, oh, yeah, so it's like a wrap. No. So it's like a sub 2. No. A lease option is not sub 2. A lease option is not a wrap. A lease option is simply a lease with the option to purchase. There's no note created. No mortgage is created. We don't close at a title company. You know how we close? DocuSign. Or kitchen table closing. Hey, sign here. Great. There you go. So we don't use a title company. There's no attorney involved. It's simply a lease with the option of purchase, okay? So there's 3 types of lease options. There's a straight lease option, sandwich lease option, lease option assignment. A straight lease option. Who was, I believe you, sir, were talking about wanting to buy a house? Okay. I'm going to help you, all right? What you're going to do is a straight lease option, all right? What's that? Yep. I'm going to go slower for you, okay? All right. So a straight lease option, you can buy, sell, or control real estate with a lease option. Brian, I love that video you put out. Was that 2 days ago or a day ago? We were walking around the park talking about lease options, about how you locked up a property with a lease option. That was a straight lease option. You can buy, sell, or control property with a lease option. When I show you later our website and I show you our actual properties, and I tell you what the seller's getting as an option consideration, y'all are going to freak and go, holy crap, I could have bought that house, controlled it for like $3,000. I've got an entire course. I'm not here to sell you a course. I don't even sell this course. I did an entire course on how to buy a $500,000 home for $5,000 down or less. This is what we do every day, all day. So straight lease option. How are you going to do it? First of all, if you own a property, and I'll get to how you can buy a property. If you own a property and you want to sell it, you can sell it on a straight lease option. Instead of renting it out, you can lease option it. So example, Keith, I went 200,000. I went easy numbers for y'all, okay? You got a $200,000 house. If you lease option, you get a non-refundable option fee of $10,000. That's the buyer paying you. You're going to get as an example, $17.95 a month, but you're going to sell it for $206. You follow me on this, Keith? This is non-refundable. If you rent it out, you're going to get $16.95 a month as a deposit, which is not yours, because you got to give it back if they leave it clean. It's $16.95 a month. So you have to decide which would you rather do, right? So if you want to sell a property, if you're okay selling it, you set the price, your option fee, and your monthly payment. Okay? That's how you can sell a property on a lease option. Now I'm going to talk about how to buy a property with a lease option. I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Lamar Benefit.
Lamar, okay. I want you to, do you really want to buy a house? Okay, I want you to write this down. I want you to go to myplusleads.com. It's going to cost you about $70 a month. MyPlusLeads.com will give you all the for sub owners, for rent owners, pre-foreclosure, and expired listings within a 50-mile radius. And you're going to start calling them.
And what we do?
Is it, hey, this is Lamar. I saw your property for sale on, whatever, Main Street. Want to see if you'd be able to do something creative, like maybe terms or lease option. And you're going to talk to them about a lease option with the information I'm about to give you, okay? My Plus Leads, yeah. My Plus Leads. My Plus, Plus. No more questions. This right side, man, they're so, I love you all. That right side, they're little Keith and all that crap. Anybody here ever do a pad split, short-term rental, assisted living, anything? What have you done? Short-term rental. Did you already own the property? Okay. Lease options are the easiest way to get into shared housing. I don't care if it's pad split, Airbnb, assisted living. I've helped so many people in the assisted living world and the pad split world where they thought, oh my God, I've got this $1 million property, a single story out in Phoenix. It's going to be amazing for assisted living. I've got to raise $250,000 to go to the bank to buy this property, then convert it to assisted living and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you don't. Lease option, baby. With a lease option, you can control that property with the right to buy it for literally less than 5% down. So if you want to do a short-term rental and you want to buy a property, don't go to the bank. Lease option it. Okay? And again, I'm going to get into this and you're going to see how this comes together, okay? Sandwich lease, so we talked about the straight lease option. Sandwich lease option. This is where you stay in the middle. So you're sandwiched between the buyer and the seller. So, Keith, you've got a house for sale. You've got a house for sale. And what are the numbers here? You're moving to Tampa. You got a house for sale. I know it's worth about $200. I'm like, hey, man, I'll buy it from you, Keith. I'll give you $170,000. I look at my numbers. $170,000. I'll give you $1,200 a month, and I'll give you an option fee of $10. Now I don't say I'm going to give you $10. Right. It's just in the contract, right? And you go, yeah, let's do it. So now I'm paying Keith. I'm on the hook for $1,200 a month for this house. Y'all follow me? As soon as Keith signs that contract, guess what I do? I take my $68 sign and I put in the yard, lease option, baby. Then Lamar comes along and like, oh my God, I love that house, lease option. I bet I can qualify. He calls me up. Hey, I was calling about that house on Main Street. What's the deal? I go, oh man, I tell you what, Lamar, I've gotten blown up with phone calls in this house. You can't believe it. Whew! I'll tell you what, Lamar, it's a lease option. It's $200,000. It's $10,000 down and $1,600 a month. The $10,000 down is due at move-in. $1,600 a month, and then we help you get qualified within the next year or two. Does that sound good? And Lamar goes, yeah. So Lamar gives me $10,000 non-refundable option consideration. He's paying me $1,600 a month. So I got $10,000 down, $400 a month cash flow. I still got $20,000 equity. But here's the thing. It's called a sandwich lease option because I'm sandwiched between Lamar and Keith. Do y'all see that? Lamar pays me, I pay Keith. Lamar pays me, I pay Keith. Does that make sense? It's called a sandwich lease option. Now, here's the thing. I do not recommend anybody do a sandwich lease option unless you've done 4 or 5 assignments in that area. Do you know the area? What are the buyers looking for? How fast can I turn it? Because guess what? If Lamar's paying me, I pay Keith. Lamar pays me, I pay Keith. Lamar doesn't pay me, I still got to pay Keith. Yeah, but John, he's in Tampa. I know he's an idiot, but anyway. I want you all to remember this. In real estate, the number one thing you never want to be is a desperate seller. What I said just then was very important. You never, ever, ever want to be the desperate seller. So people doing sub 2, people doing a sandwich lease option for the first time, you can become the desperate seller. Do not ever become the desperate seller. Ask me how I know. The only time in 21 years I ever lost money was on a sandwich lease option. Not because they're bad, because I broke every rule. Because I was like, I got to stop the effing bleeding. There's a lot of other stuff going on there. But you get the point? But that's a sandwich lease option. So I point this out because when the gurus say, oh, you can make 3 profit centers, yeah. But they make it look amazing and beautiful. You better know what you're doing. Yes. What do I do if Keith doesn't pay the mortgage? I'm going to fly to Tampa, because I love Tampa, by the way. Yeah, I love Tampa, man. Clearwater. Yeah, we're going to hook up at Clearwater. We're going to have a conversation. I'm going to go, Keith, look at this beautiful sunset. By the way, why aren't you paying your mortgage? Yes, I will. Because you know what? This is going down a rabbit hole. If I'm doing a sandwich lease option, guess who's got authorization and a memorandum? Oh, I'll know. Because I'm going to have access to his mortgage information. But that's a sandwich lease option. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. Now we're going to get into what the hell does leasing to buy do? This is what my company does, what we specialize in. We do this all the time. Lease option assignment. Some people call it, anyway, it doesn't matter. Wholesale lease option, link option, whatever. That's what we specialize in. There's only one profit center in a lease option assignment. It's the assignment fee. But there's no risk involved. This is exactly what I would recommend to anybody starting off in real estate. Why? There's no risk, no cold calling, no skip tracing. You're on the hook for nothing. So here we go. Again, I'm going to explain this more than show the slides here, okay? And I'll show you my website and say, okay, here's the deal. Here's how it's structured. What is a lease option assignment? So Keith, you got your house here for sale. You can't sell it. You're moving to Tampa. You get one of my direct mail pieces in the mail. And you call me. Hey, John, this is Keith. I got your thing. You always say that. I got your thing. Hey, I got your thing in the mail. Kind of want to see what you do. So I'll call you. Hey, Keith, this is John. Leasing goodbye. Just calling you back. I got your message. What's going on? You got a property for sale? Yeah, I do. All right. Well, what's the property address? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what's going on? Do you still live in the house? Have you already moved? Well, I'm about to move. I'm about to move to Tampa. Oh, wow. No, I love Tampa. And now I start, just bullshitting with you, carrying a conversation with you. Well, how soon are you moving? Next month, whatever. Oh, crap. We got to move fast. Well, let me ask you, Keith, how much are you asking for your house? To whatever it was. Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you, Keith, what we do with leasing to buy is we provide a plan B for sellers. We are the plan B. Plan A is you stick a sign in the yard, someone comes along, offers you you get 5 offers over asking. Those days ended about 3 years ago. We're plan B, where we can get you full price, no negotiating, no full price, no negotiating, no commission, cash flow each month, and our buyers cash you out in 10 to 12 months. Which, by the way, I also do a lot of seller finance. So I may say, we also have another program, seller finance. Anyway, whatever. I'll tell you what, Keith, let me do this. Let me get your email address. Let me pull some information about your property, and I can send you a couple of emails. Now, the first one's going to be, who are we? What do we do? The second one's going to have some preliminary numbers in it. Why don't you take a look at that, okay? Then I can call you tomorrow and kind of follow up from there, okay? All right, sounds good. I get your email address. I then, remember how I said if you can copy and paste, you can do what I do? I then email Keith. Email number 1. Go ahead, walk away. We'll wait for you. Wait, where are you going? You can't see? She has to go with you? Are you gonna tap it or something, or what's going on here? I love this Alabama crowd. I don't know what's going on there. We should all go in the bathroom. Oh my God. Anyway, I send you email in 1. Copy paste. Boom, boom. I put the numbers together. Takes me 8 seconds. Put them in the price sheet. Super easy. Copy paste. Boom, boom, boom. Email it to you. The next day, I call Keith. Hey, Keith. Hey, this is John, leasing to buy. Just following up with you. I sent you a couple of emails. Didn't know if you had a chance to look at them and see if you have any questions. Keith will say, yeah, look at it, kind of blah, 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 whatever. In just a little bit, I'm going to show you the number 1 question sellers have, okay? What do you think the number 1 question sellers have is?
I'm gonna get paid.
What?
I'm gonna get paid.
How are you going to get paid? Well, they saw the price sheet. They know how they're going to get paid. What was that? When can we sign? You're there. You're there. Now, in the conversation with Keith, I didn't skip trace. I didn't cold call. I didn't negotiate. I'm like, hey, man, I'm here to help. What's going on? Whether you're doing lease options or something else, guys, when you're in the real estate business and you're talking to sellers, stop focusing on your wallet. If you focus on how much money you're going to make, you're going to suck. That's how the universe works. If you focus on how you can help the seller, suddenly things get easier. You see, I look at it this way. I'm the real estate doctor. Keith, you got this house. Good. What's going on? Where does it hurt? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Keith, I've got a couple of prescriptions for you. I've got this lease option prescription. Now we could also do seller finance. Here's how that would look. I give you the prescription. How? Copy, paste, email. It's not my job to drive you to CVS to shove the pills down your throat. I'm just the doctor. But yet people, especially starting off in real estate, they want to shove the pill down the throat. Come on, you got to do it. Dude, back off. I'm a real estate doctor. I wrote the prescription. Whether you take it or not, it's up to you. I don't give a crap. Because I got 20 more people lined up. I got to go. So, going back to the assignment. So you've got a house for sale for X amount. We just had that conversation we just had. I sent email number 1, email number 2. I follow up with them. Hey, Keith, you got any questions? That looks pretty good. Whatever. Okay. What's the next step? Let me send the contract. I'll send that via DocuSign, and we'll have this thing marketed by tomorrow. Boom. My VA then blasted over the internet, our website and the internet. I put a sign in the yard. Then Lamar, is that right?
Right.
Lamar comes along, sees the house. Oh my God, I love this house. What's up? Hey, oh my God, Lamar. Yeah, we're getting a lot of calls on that house. It's a lease option. It's not a straight rental. It's a lease option where we help you buy the house within 12 months. That house is, whatever, $250,000. $10,000 down. Do it, move in, and $1,900 a month. Whatever.
I got a question. So what's the name of that agreement?
The lease option agreement.
So that's what it would be called with you?
The lease with the option of purchase, yeah.
Okay. So we'll abide by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you go, oh my God, I love it, yeah. So you now pay me $10,000 assignment fee in this example. You move in, you're paying Keith every month, whatever it was, $1,900 a month. I made $10,000 on a house I didn't own. I had nothing at risk. I just made an assignment fee. But guess what? I helped you. I helped you.
Okay. So did that 10K go towards like the house?
That $10K will go towards your down payment at the time of finance.
I'm talking about like, so if this house was 200K, that'll be negative 200K from what I owe them, right?
200 minus whatever you put down.
Right. So everything I pay goes towards the house.
Not the monthly.
Not the monthly.
Not the monthly.
So what?
I'll explain. If we have time, we'll get into the numbers, okay? I don't want to confuse everybody with rent credits and all that stuff just yet. But yeah, what you put down is going to go towards the down payment, okay? So we're going to assign my contract to the buyer. Look, this is how professional I am. I use stick figures. That's how complicated this is. But do you see how I assign that? He and I have a contract. I'm not on the hook to make payments. He knows what I'm doing. I'm a marketing company. I market the property. Then I assign it to Lamar. All right? So I assign it to Lamar. I'm out of the deal. Lamar's now making the payments every month to Keith. So again, these are simple numbers here. $200,000 house. I market it at $208,000. Lamar comes along, he's paying $208,000 for it, pays me an assignment fee of $8,000. It'd actually be $10,000, but anyway, $8,000. Okay. Anyway, you put $8,000 down or $10,000 down. To me, you're making your payments every month to Keith. I'm out of the deal. I'm done. Now, I'm going to put you in touch with our lender to help you get financed. But the point is, I just turned a pretty house with nothing at risk. And I'm going to show you our website here in just a moment here to step you through this. Guys, this is so stupidly easy. How does this work? One, I get the house under contract with Keith. I set all the terms. We set the terms. I market the property, sign the yard, online stuff, get the application, assign the contract, boom, I'm out of the deal. That's it. So people say, well, John, why would a seller be willing to do a lease option? Why don't they just sell it? Because they can't. It's sitting there. They can't sell the house. What is their plan B? They think it's going to be to rent it. So we've got seller, oh my God, relocating. I just yesterday locked up a house in Arlington, Texas, $610,000. The guy's moving to Virginia. Like the moving truck is about to back up, and it hadn't sold yet. And he's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. Let's do it." I've already got people like hitting me up on Facebook and Messenger. Oh, I want this. I want that house. He's relocating. He's moving. Maybe they bought another house. The house has been on the market for 60, 90, 120 days. They don't want to rent their house out to God knows who. They don't want to be landlords. They have low equity. Guys, sellers need a plan B. And we are the plan B. So with us, in this example with Keith, you're going to get full price, no haggling, no negotiating. You don't pay me a commission. That's going to save you 6% right there. You're going to get cash flow each month. And the buyer, in this case Lamar, is going to take amazing care of the property. And he's going to get financed within 10 to 12 months. So again, as an investor, as you all, you're not risking money. You have nothing at risk. You are a marketing company. I'm a marketing company. Leasing to buy is a marketing company, okay? I'm flying through some of this real quickly here. Okay. So how do I find these sellers? Now, my students, we have a software we use. I won't go into it. We have a software that will scrape all the for sale by owners in a county, in a state, whatever, and text blast all the for sale by owners or all the expireds, okay? And that's great. They get a lot of houses. I don't do that. I do direct mail. I do direct mail to MLS over 30. If a house is in Tarrant County and been sitting there over 30 days in the market, they're getting a little postcard from me. So I'm in Tarrant County. Now, this was about a month old, but 5,320 houses. I can assure you, I'm not sending out 5,000 postcards. I could not keep up the phone calls. Once I did this, I had to put in some filters. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to bring this down. I do direct mail to MLS over 30. Do you know who else is mailing MLS over 30? No one! I have no competition. This is so easy. Now, for the seller, for Keith, it's a no-brainer. On a $400,000 house, he's going to make $24,000 more just on commissions, not including his cash flow. I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you our website to really bring it at home, to show you what do we do. Now, I'm from Texas. I love Mexican food. I love analogies. So what do? Well, the seller wants enchiladas. What does that mean? He thinks his house is amazing. It's worth $500K, whatever. He knows it's worth $500K because he just replaced all the knobs in the kitchen. Oh my God, look at this, honey. I just replaced all the knobs. So he sticks his sign in the yard, boom, for sale by owner, and he stands there going, we're going to get $500K, baby. He wants enchiladas. A week goes by. 2 weeks go by. 3 weeks. There ain't no enchiladas coming. That ended in 2001. There's no enchiladas coming. Nobody's making an offer. What do? I simply come on and go, hey, I know you want enchiladas. I got fajitas. I got rice, beans, chicken, beef. I don't know. I'm not forcing the seller to eat my fajitas. I'm just like, I got fajitas. There you leave it. I don't care. I'm writing the prescription. It's not my job to drive him to CVS. I got fajitas. What happens If they don't say yes to the fajitas right then, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hold on. Okay, I don't give a crap. Whatever, dude. Guess what happens after a week? After 2 weeks, they're getting hungry. And guess what? When they see there's no enchiladas coming, they're like, hey, John, hey, this is Keith, yeah. Okay, can you tell me more about those fajitas? Yeah, sure. I'm not forcing them to do anything. I'm not negotiating. I'm just like, hey, here's what I do. Now, this is very important, guys. I talked about this just a second ago. This is it's an old email, but it's so on point. The number one question sellers have for me after I send email number one, email number two, bam, right here. Hey, John, hope you had a great weekend. See questions below. Average time frame to locate a client or buyer. That is the number one question sellers have for me. What are they asking? How quickly can you find someone? In other words, how fast can you bring the fajitas? That's the number one question. How fast can you bring the fajitas? Well, 30, 45 days. All right, what's next? Send me the contract. All right, let's go. And there we go, right there. This is the actual house that email came from. That seller. Enchiladas, fajitas. Do you see that? My sign's in the yard with this, but I got fajitas. He's marketing enchiladas. Okay, whatever. Let's go. I'm here to help you. Sellers love that. I didn't say, well, you got to pull your sign out. I'm like, no, baby, leave it there. Get enchiladas. I don't care. I'm going to go for fajitas. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to show y'all here leasing to buy. Let me do that. And come on. I may take it off of, come on. Let me take it off this. Let me get the website up and plug this back in. Oh my gosh. Let that connect. Oh, come, is it shown on there? Nope. Okay, let me see if I can, it's, oh, are you kidding me? Let me unplug this. Let me minimize this, make this bigger. Let me see if this will work, because I will really want to show y'all real deals. Okay, it's a little small, but bear with me here, okay? So this is our website, Leasing to Buy. Now the reason I'm showing you this is to give you something tangible to grasp onto, okay? Remember I said I just talked to a seller who's moving to Virginia? That's his house. Now we've got bukus of houses, but let me, it looks smaller anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. See if I can make this happen here. So, come on. Ugh. So I'm looking at it on my screen here. Oh, that one's seller finance. Let me find another one. Okay, lease option in Dallas. There we go. This is one of my students. Okay. Let's see how that looks on the TV. Okay. Well, that's a beautiful house, right? That's not a shit box, is it? Again, we work with nice houses, nice areas. My student, Donnie, used our software to scrape and text expired listings. Got this one under contract. This one's $790,000. Can y'all see that up there? Okay, beautiful house, right? So how does this work? He used our software to scrape expired listings. Click the button, send out a text blast, whatever, Hey, I saw your property, for sale. Not sure if you'd be open to something creative like lease option, or like terms or lease option, whatever. This will reply back. Donnie picked up the phone. Let me put a little pause there. My students use our software. I do direct mail. Doesn't matter. The point is, the leads are coming in. Donnie said, well, here's what we do. Here's the prescription, right? And the seller said, where do I sign up? Here's the contract. So now Donnie is marketing this gorgeous home to a prospective buyer. The buyer's going to come along, whether it be online or through the sign in the yard, whatever. They'll go to our website, fill out the application, all that. The buyer's going to pay Donnie, I don't know if you can see that, $40,000 for his assignment fee. Does Donnie have anything at risk? No. Is Donnie making payments on this house? Hell no. We are a marketing company. It's just that we market lease options. We do seller finance as well, but I want to stay focused on lease options here, okay? So Donnie's going to make $40,000. The buyer's going to pay him that. But John, what happens to that $40,000? It'll come off the sales price. When that buyer goes to get financed, it'll show sales price $790, down payment already paid, $40,000. Bam, there you go. But that is Donnie's money. Now, we give a little bit of this. I don't know how much he's given him, but we give a little bit of that to the seller because there's no deposit with a lease option. So maybe we give him, I don't know, let's give him $4,000, $5,000, I don't know. Does that make sense? What I do is so easy that when I talk to even very experienced investors, I go, here's what I do. Bap, 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 bap. They look at me like, yeah, like they're waiting for some amazing, weird, convoluted formula to come out of the sky. I'm like, yeah, that's it. No, well, John, what about, you got to do that? No, nope, that's what I do. They try to overcomplicate it. One of the issues I have with students that when they first come on board is like in the first week, like they watch the training videos and go, there's got to be more to it than this one. Nope. It's that easy. No, John, it's got to be more. Nope. Someone's calling him. Their girlfriend or your wife or both? All right. But this is a real deal, guys. Sellers need a plan B. We are the plan B. Now, I can show you, our website has properties over the nation. This is what we do. For my students like Donnie, I'm not here to sell anything, but for my students like Donnie, we bring them into our ecosphere and go, Donnie, within 24 hours, boom, you're plugged in. You're in the matrix. Bam! Within 2 weeks, boom, he's got sellers texting him back. Within 3 weeks, bam, price sheets, 4 weeks, contracts. Here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Who here uses a CRM? Raise your hand high. I want to see a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Who here knows what a CRM is? Raise your hand. It could be Podio, it could be Go High Level, could be Freedom Soft. I'm about to expose something to you all. Do you want to see my CRM? Who here wants to see my CRM? What is up with you, girl? You got to raise your hand. I need some motivation here.
My wheels are spinning.
Your wheels are spinning because you think it's more complicated than it is.
No, I'm trying to figure out why somebody would give you $40,000 if they've got $40,000. Why wouldn't they put that down on a mortgage?
Bam! Bam!
Why wouldn't they buy the house?
Oh my gosh! Hey, I'm going to come back to you got to remind me about the CRM, okay? Because she's got me all. We took an exit her. Two of the most common questions I get, John, why would a seller do a lease option? Because they can't freaking sell. Well, John, why would they sell? Because they can't. But because they can't. If I went to Redfin right now and pulled up, I don't know what county I'm in. I don't know what county this is. And pulled up, listed over 30, like, bam, those are my sellers. But John, why would a buyer? Why wouldn't a buyer just go to a mortgage company? Oh, I don't know. What is your name? What is it? Jill. Have you ever heard of people that are self-employed? Yeah, you know what we don't do? We don't tell the government how much we make. Ooh. Jill, have you ever heard of somebody relocating from another state? And they got to get kids in school. They got to get them in school, get all their crap in place to get prepared for finance. They don't have 4 weeks to fly into Texas to drive around the back of Sally Jane Rottencrotch's Cadillac with Remax to go look at houses. They got to get in the house. Let's go. The lease option's the easiest way. Now, Jill, I'm from Texas. We've got a baseball team called the Texas Rangers. You ever heard of them? Okay. A number of years ago, we had a first baseman named Mark Teixeira. Teixeira. Who said that? Thank you. I said Teixeira. Teixeira. He had a house in Vaquero. Vaquero is a beautiful, wonderful neighborhood in Westlake, sorry. It was $5 million. How did you know it was Teixeira? How did you know that? Yeah, it was. He got traded to the New York Yankees. All right, he's got to go to New York. He's got a $5 million home. It ain't selling. Drop the price. 4.8, 4.5, 4.4, 4.2. Guess how he sold it? Lease option. But John, why would someone buy a $4.2 million home at a lease option? I don't give a shit. I had a friend of mine lease optioning a $2 million home in Southlake. Why? I don't know. He moved the family from North Carolina. Got to get the kids in school and whatever. I don't care.
Where do you find the people? Where do you get the list of people?
Where do we find the buyers?
I know you find the houses.
Where do we find the buyers? I put a sign in the yard. I put it on our website. I put it on not me, my VA, because I'm very busy. I'm very popular. Put a sign in the yard with directional signs. By the way, signs are how we get most of my buyers. These aren't handwritten crappy signs, They make their own. No, this is like nice professional signs. Put signs in the yard, put on leasing to buy. My VA puts it on Facebook Marketplace, multiple Facebook groups. She also puts it on syndication websites like Zumper and Fisber and Turbo Tenant. And I've also got some good relationships with agents as well. That's how we find the buyers.
buyer, the house is selling.
You tell me.
I mean, I don't know, that's what I'm asking. I mean, do they need work?
If I go, no, these are move-in ready houses. If I go to Redfin right now and pull up, what county am I in? What am I in? Jefferson County. And I see a house in there that's been sitting for 60 days. Why isn't it sold yet? It's the market, baby. All markets are cyclical, right? I knew that from day trading. All markets are cyclical. Where are we in the market? We're in the perfect market for lease options. I'll say this, 3 years ago, my real estate business slowed way down because sellers didn't need us. Guess who needs me now? What if it doesn't appraise? So we sell this house for $790,000. That buyer goes, we put them in touch with our lender, they got to get financing. It's incredibly rare that the house doesn't appraise. Why? Because of the way I set the numbers. If it doesn't appraise, let's assume this one came in at $780,000. Same as a regular transaction. Hey, Mr. Seller, appraisal came in at $780,000. We want $790,000. 99% of the time, the seller's going to go, all right, we tried. All right, there you go. I just had one outside of Houston for $1.8 million. The appraiser screwed us. But it all worked out. The seller was super happy.
They don't pay, does it come out of the down payment?
No. What, you mean if the buyer doesn't pay?
If the buyer isn't paying the payments after 6
If the buyer isn't making their payment after 30 days, they're getting evicted.
you go through the eviction process.
Oh yeah, we go through the eviction process. I do not have a problem with buyers not paying. I used to in 2003, 2004, 2005. Why? Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was doing shitty houses that I shouldn't have been doing. Home investors would send me houses. Hey, John, we just got this house. I'm like, okay, and I'll go look at it. And they go, what do you think of that house? I'm like, yeah, looks great. I mean, as soon as I'll get the foundation work done, it's already been done. I'm like, well, I hope the buyer doesn't have an aquarium. That's a funny joke. I don't care who you are. Because the aquarium would be, it's a whole thing. I'll explain to you. You got that shit, didn't you? I don't go through an inspection. I don't do shit. I copy paste.
What if it does have a major?
What's that?
What if it does have a major?
Believe me, our houses don't have major issues. You see this house? You think that thing's got a major issue? I don't deal with crappy houses. You know where your problems come from? Is from crappy houses which attract crappy buyers. When I had problems, the last time, and I say this, it sounds funny, it is funny, but it's the truth. The last time I had a problem, dude, you're going to die at this shit. This is the truth. The last time I had a problem with one of my lease option deals, I had a ponytail and my kids were in car seats. That's how long ago it was. Why? Because which by the way, all about the hairdo. Dude, I had it down to my nips. I'm not your typical real estate speaker. Why? Because I was dealing with houses I shouldn't have been dealing with. What did that attract? Buyers I shouldn't have been working with. I can assure you, on a $790,000 house, I ain't got no problem.
Can you piggyback this over a DSCR law?
If there's a DSCR, you mean if there's a DSCR law? Use this. So what I do with the assignment is I'm selling this. Now, if you've got a DSCR loan on a property and the numbers work, yeah, we can lease option all day long. If you have a hard money loan, you better refi it before we lease option it. Because my buyers are going to they're going to take 10, 12 months to cash you out.
Are you vetting your buyer?
Yes, if they can fog a mirror, they're in.
Because of the down payment.
Just kidding. Yes, I vet my buyers. What they do, you see right here, Ann? Any of our buyers, don't leave me! Do you want a selfie or something? No, you can't leave too. I just followed you, man. So you'll see, what's your name? LaQuinta? LaQuantas? Did I say it right? All right. You doing it right back here? Don't leave me. What's it? This lady leaves and everybody leaves. All right. How do I vet the buyers? I don't know who that lady was, but half the guys left. She's very popular. Dude, they fill out this application. They fill out the application. It comes to me. I process it. Look at debt to income. Look at the tri-merge mortgage report. How fast can we get them financed? What's the game plan? Yeah.
Do you extend it to a second year?
Do I extend to a second year? That almost never ever needs to be done. Why? Because I've vetted them from coming into the gate.
They don't believe that option.
Yeah, they want to buy the house. Now I'm going to try to go back here. Let me unplug this for a second, guys. Try to go back here. Is that it? Okay. So I'm almost done here, guys. I'm going to give you all a bunch of free crap. Who wants some free stuff? All right, you don't get anything free because you didn't raise your hand. So I'm going to show them a QR code. If you put your phone up, I'll be mad. Let's see. This takes a second here. As this gets connected here, again, guys, what I do is so simple. I don't need a bank. I don't go get a loan. Nobody's pulling my credit. I started with literally a $68 sign in the yard. I still have that sign in my garage, by the way. I'm going to kind of recap here. Then I'm going to give you all a bunch of free stuff. Is that cool? Is that cool? Except for you. Okay. Mr. Infinite Banking, which I actually like that. The whole life policy. I got you, man. I got you. So let's recap what I do. I market to sellers that can't sell. Hey, I got a plan B. They call me up. Hey, how's this work? Here's how it works. Here's copy paste. Email 1, email 2, bam. Did you get the email? Yeah. How soon can you find somebody? Well, about 45 days. Where do I sign? Okay, here you go. I put the sign in the yard. My VA blasts it all over social. Here come the phone calls. I get the application. Show the property. All right, here we go. I get the down payment. They send the contract. Kitchen table closing or DocuSign. There's just not a lot of moving parts to this machine. What's bizarre is I'm basically the only person in the United States teaching this. There was another guy, love him, Joe McCall, who was teaching it for a while, but I trained him back in 2009. Why is nobody teaching this? Because it ain't sexy. Because it's easy. There's no land trust involved. Well, there goes that sexiness. There's no risk involved. There goes that sexiness. There's no title transfer. It ain't sexy. I literally email Keith, right? Email 1, email 2. You like it? Yeah, here's the contract. Email 3, or DocuSign. Okay? I haven't even left my house yet. Here comes Lamar. Hey, I love that house. Okay. Here you go. Here's the application. The seller pays taxes and insurance. There's no title transfer with a lease option until that buyer gets financed. Well, John, doesn't the attorney? No, there's no freaking attorney. It's DocuSign. Well, don't you have to file? Nope. Don't you have to put it? Nope. I'm telling y'all, this ain't sexy. It just works.
I mean, by the insurance, you call your insurance company, let them know you're doing this.
Well, with the insurance company, the seller needs to contact the insurance company and let them know they need a renter's policy, a landlord policy. Sorry. Everybody's leaving me, Brian. I've officially irritated 8 people. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to get going anyway because Ruth closes at 10 and I got to eat and it's the whole thing. All right, guys, get your phones out. I'm going to wrap this up. Here we go. Except you. Don't get the phone out. I'm watching. Is that your phone? I'm watching. I know. I'm watching. All right. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it for you guys. I have an entire operation manual that comes with my course, my $1,000 course. Everybody's got a course. This operation manual holds nothing back. You could literally take this operation manual I'm going to give you and duplicate my business. This is a cookie cutter business. Do you want that? It'll literally go, step 1, here's how we do this. Here's how we market the houses. Here's how you set the numbers. Here's how you find the buyers. Here's how you vet the buyers. Here's how you close the deal. Rinse and repeat. You don't want that? All right. Except you.
I would say if I was doing this, I would want to coach you. I wouldn't want your name.
I do coaching, but do you have references? I'm very picky about who I work with.
Sure. I'm saying if I did this.
Okay.
Information is good. Execution is another.
Thank
What
you.
you guys do.
Yep, we execute. Bam. It's not about hey, here's theory, good luck. It's like, dude, you're in the game. Within 24 hours, boom, let's go. Yep. So we talked about all this. I'm trying to wrap this up here because we got to hurry. Talked about that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Y'all put your phones up. Now, that QR code should take you to a landing page where you enter your name, your phone number, and your email. I'm giving you the core of my business. I'm giving you the lease option, the leasing to buy operation manual. I was going to franchise leasing to buy back in 08 or so, 07. It's a whole story. I was like, man, I'm just going to teach people. But I structure this around, if you're going to have a franchise of leasing to buy, that's how you do it. Boom, step 1. Boom, step 2. Boom, step 3. Here's blah, 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 blah. I'm also going to give you, remember I talked about email 1 and email 2? Copy, paste. Guess what? If you scan that, you just got access to them. If you can copy and paste, you can do this. And I just gave you my emails. Well, John, what attachment goes with email 1? I just gave it to you. Well, John, what about the price sheet? I just gave it to you. What I gave you on that QR code, and let me just kind of tie a bow on this, we'll call it a night. The guy that coaches my students for me, I coach as well, but he coaches twice a day. It's a lot. Like, we do freaking deals. Joe Seski was 19 years old. He lived in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He was going to college to get a biology degree. This is back in 2010, I think. 11, I don't remember. All I had was an operation manual, not even this good. And he bought it for whatever, $300. I don't know what I sold it for. He bought it, and he sent me a couple of emails. I think he may have called me once or twice, a couple of questions. 19 years old, going to college, getting a degree in biology, did over 200 lease options in Pennsylvania as a college freaking student. Guys, if you can't do this, I got nothing for you. So by scanning that QR code, you have access to my operation manual, my seller price sheet, how does lease purchase work, my copy and paste emails. Oh, and even my lease option calculator. Guys, I made this so stupid simple. On that lease option calculator, it's an Excel spreadsheet. If you put in at the top line, how much is the seller asking for the house? $400,000. Enter. There's your numbers. I mean, guys, if you can't do this after this, I got nothing for you. Stupidly simple. Now, on that, I will say this. When you fill that out, get our information, there is a link on there. If anybody here wants to book a call with me, say, John, hey man, I watch you speak, blah, blah, I got a couple questions, book a call, just jump on my calendar. Here's something shocking. Because I don't run Facebook ads. I don't run Instagram ads. The people that follow me have been following me for years. It's just organic traffic, right? We only have about 32 students across the nation. Why? Because I don't... If they find me, they find me. If they don't care. I'm doing my thing. Oh, I forgot to show the CRM. Dude, why did you... I'm going to show you the CRM real quickly. I do not have anybody working this system in Alabama. What the holy hell? There's an entire state untapped. Why? Oh, I'm not looking for it. If they find me, they find me. What does that mean? Opportunity. Now I'm going to close with this because Keith forgot to remind me earlier. And then Brian, you promised you're going to take me to the hotel because I got to eat and go to bed. We talked about a CRM earlier. There's Podio, there's Go High Level, there's FreedomSoft, all kinds of fancy, complicated software to attract your leads, tag the leads. Oh, I got to move it over here to the yellow zone. No, it's over here in the blue zone. Blah, 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 blah. I've done this for 21 years, and I'm about to reveal to you all my CRM. Are y'all ready? You ready to see my software? How I keep track of all these leads? I told y'all this is simple. This is the shit here, man. I don't just show anybody this. You ready, Brian? When a lead comes in from a seller, it goes into my yellow notepad CRM. Is that complicated? When a buyer calls, it goes into my white legal pad CRM. When I'm working leads, phone with the seller, doing my thing, it goes into my inbound CRM. How do I know it's inbound? Because it's marked inbound. When I'm marketing properties and working them, they go into my Manila CRM. These are folders. These are files of actual houses I'm marketing. Why would I show you all this? It's simple. What I do is simple. I don't have a fancy CRM. Here it is. I don't have to go move it to this. Oh, I got to log into my Go High Level and blah, blah, blah. No, it's right here. If you want a business this easy, this is what I do. I pay my VA $1,000 a month, and she's damn good. She's over in the Philippines. She handles my Facebook DMs. She loads my properties to our website. She does all that. She's amazing. Yeah. But this is what I do, guys. It's just that simple. I know is it 8:45? Guys, do me a favor. Give me a big hand. Come on. Come on.